What is silent quitting? This is where you get a deep dive on who I am, and so you can get to know me better on a deeper level and to see how far I've come on my healing and growth journey. So we're going to talk today about silently quitting friendships and why I silently quit some of my friendships in the last few years. This isn't about drama. Unfortunately, I know it is always about drama, but I am going to do a deep dive on why I silently quit some friendships. This is definitely about growth, not drama. I have been quietly walking away from some friendships and I want to do a deep dive on it. It's not because I hate anybody or want to, have some type of revenge. I am not a confrontational person by nature. I am a Libra, so I'm quite soft. Yes, I just got tired. I did get tired in these friendships and I was tired of feeling drained or tired of being used. Tired of not feeling safe in the spaces that I had with them. So if you're silently quitting friendships as well, this video is for you. What is silent quitting? So we've heard a lot about quiet quitting your job, but what about quiet quitting friendships? So it's when you stop initiating, it's when you stop meeting them halfway or more. It's when you stop overgiving, stop showing up when they need you. You stop showing up where you're not seen, essentially. And one day you realize that the friendship is just gone. It doesn't exist anymore. You don't talk, you don't message, you don't do anything. There's no big fight, there's no closure, there's just silence. There's nothing. You just drift, and sometimes that just needs to happen. Sometimes you just outgrow your friendships, and that is okay. Not all friendships are meant to last forever in my eyes. I personally do believe that someone's either put in your life to be a lesson or put into your life for a lifetime. Some friendships are built on trauma bonds where you share the same trauma. Some are built with shared experiences. Some are built with, going through the same things at the same time. Or some are just built simply out of convenience, which I've had a lot of. But when you grow and heal and find more about yourself to love, those dynamics start to feel very heavy and they no longer serve you, which that's just natural growth, really. You're just not connecting and you're just not vibing like you used to. Let me give you 2 examples of me silently quitting a friendship and give you a little bit more depth to why I did them and why I decided to silently quit. One particular friend I knew for over 8 years. We had a decent friendship. We lived on opposite sides of Melbourne. She's a very people person. She was great. It was fine. We seemed to have a lot in common at the time, but she knew a lot of what I went through. And as you can see in my Hot Mess memoirs, I have really bad choices in men. And, she's seen me through all of that. She's seen me go through betrayal and having trust issues. So it was a surprise to me that during COVID and lockdowns, when my now husband was isolating in our new house on the western side. So I'm from the southeast side. She's from the western side. He had to isolate in our new place, which we were moving to during COVID. And she was messaging him and I guess trying to find things in common because she was my best friend at the time. I didn't see anything wrong with it at the time until he flagged that she pretty much messaged him asking to go and have lunch when he's out of isolation and to give her his number stated in the message that I saw with my own eyes. Lulu won't care. Now, you'd think a friend that knew me for longer than 7 years or 8 years would know that I would care, especially if you haven't run it by me. You haven't even run it by me. You're talking to my partner behind my back and asking for his number. Again, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I didn't even mention it because it was the first kind of weird hiccup, even though I kind of knew she was a bit of a pick-me, but we had fun when we went out and we had fun together on the phone. So again, I like to look past certain things and see the good in people. It is a bad trait of mine and I didn't want to step on her toes or have a fight for no reason if I misconstrued the situation. So I let it go and I didn't think anything of it. Fast forward to when my partner proposes to me and I ask her to be a bridesmaid, that's fine. She's still messaging him on Instagram and It was just weird. I didn't understand it. And the thing that topped everything off was we went to Graceland in Melbourne, which is like a food truck outdoor eating area. I was meeting up with another girlfriend of mine, had no idea that this particular girl was there. She was sitting right next to the table that my other friend was on. So random. Went up there. She said hi. Everything seemed fine. But as soon as I left to go to a food truck with my other friend, she literally ran to my partner and was just like talking to him and like doing all these things. She literally waited until I'd left. So I started getting weird gut feelings in my stomach. I didn't like that she did all this behind my back again. We weren't really close and we were starting to distance ourselves anyway. And she was like talking more to my partner than to me. So I silently quit. She expected me to be okay with everything that she'd done. Numerous messages I saw that she kept saying that I wouldn't care. He either ghosted her or like was just ignoring it and changing the subject. That pretty much told me everything I needed to hear because she kept saying that I'd be okay with it, yet she never mentioned anything to me. So I didn't yell. I didn't block her. I just stopped showing up, and leading up to the wedding, she mentioned nothing. She didn't bother messaging me or calling me, which only showed me one thing, that she knew that I knew, and we didn't need to have a conversation about it. That's fine by me. We've just gone our separate ways. The second friend that I silently quit, I would call her the emotionally dependent friend. We met, we trauma bonded, I guess. We were dealing with the same thing, two single mothers on a gym journey, and we did everything together. I looked up to her. We're very polar opposites. I am a social butterfly, and she was very introverted. She came with a lot of anxiety, a lot of moods. It was a hard friendship. It was tough. It felt like a relationship, you know. If I was to go on a date with someone, she would blow up my phone telling me she needs me right now, and then I'd get anxious. I'd run off to the bathroom. I'd ask her and call her what's wrong, and it'd be something so minuscule, and I'd get pissed off because she knew that I was on a date, or she knew I was busy, and she would just never let me have my time, which should have been a red flag. Back then, I didn't realize that she literally wanted to be sewn at my hip. And I was happy to be with her all the time, but I needed my own space. And I think that's when I started to grow and realize that I did enjoy my own company and I did enjoy doing things by myself. Yeah, she was super anxious, deeply insecure, and if I didn't respond, it was like hell for me. I wanted space, and if I did get space, I felt guilty, which also was not right. And like, I already struggle with anxiety from my past traumas, and I didn't need the heightened anxiety. Like, it was just so unnecessary, especially from a best friend at the time. The dynamic was so suffocating. So the thing that topped it off was two things, actually. One, she was claiming that my partner was stalking her in the gym. This is the same partner. She was sending me Snapchats saying, oh, you know, I don't want you to feel awkward, but he's following me around the gym. When at that same time, my partner was at Nando's ordering us food. He had left the gym. So that was one major, like, what the fuck? Like, are you really trying to get in between my partner and I? The second thing was, I had a really shitty car at the time. She needed a car. I bought a new car, and I was only offered $500 for this car. So I said, I'll sell it to her for $500 if she wants it. I had to hassle her for this money. Every week she said she'd pay me, it wouldn't get paid. It wouldn't get paid. She just kept on going. It's like, just give me my money. And I think that was the final straw because it just kept happening. After that, I just silently quit. I think the last thing she ever sent me was a meme that said, I know we don't talk anymore, but I think of you every day. I just left her on read. When I silently quit both of those friendships, I didn't really feel it. I didn't have to mourn it. I felt free, which kind of sucks because they both meant a lot to me at the time they were in my life, but that's the honest truth. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I think with silently quitting a friendship, there's a few signs to know when it's time to let go. Here's a few of how I knew it was done for me, and it might resonate with you. I felt more drained in these friendships rather than nourished after hanging out with them. It was like I was walking on eggshells around them and like didn't want to upset them, which is another big red flag. I also couldn't be my whole self without feeling guilty or fear of judgment from them, which again, is another big red flag. Like, you should be able to be yourself with your friends, right? Sometimes their energy would pull me back into old versions of me, which is definitely not growth and is definitely not healing. It is quite toxic. I would grow and heal and feel good about myself, and then they'd just suck me right back to where I was, and it just wasn't right. The energy was just off. These things were things that I felt at the time I needed to just leave these friendships. They just were not serving me anymore. I couldn't be myself. It's not betrayal, it's protecting my peace. And everyone in this world is allowed to do that. You're allowed to protect your peace, and you're allowed to be around people that you want to be around and not be around people you don't want to be around. You know, it's your life and you need to do what makes you feel good. After I silently quit these friendships, I thought that I would feel lonely. I thought that I'd be more sad, but honestly, like I said, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Like I was shedding a new skin, essentially, like a snake, and becoming this new version of myself and finding new things that I loved about myself and figuring things out without being codependent. I wanted to be around people that saw me, that heard me, that understood me with no judgment, where I could be me. That is my circle at the moment. I could not be happier with my friends, and I can truly say I can be myself. Yeah, if you're like me and you found yourself silently quitting friendships, it's not a bad thing. What you're doing is for you, and you deserve peace in your life. I hope this gave you some clarity that you're not the only one that has silently quit, okay? I thought I was a bitch for doing that, but the fact that they hadn't even reached out, hadn't even said anything to me, just goes to show that they knew that they had done something wrong, or they knew exactly what they did wrong, and I felt betrayed. Just know that sometimes silently quitting friendships or quiet quitting a job is you evolving and growing, and that's amazing. You're creating space for better connections or better jobs and better opportunities. You don't owe anyone an explanation at all. Like, if you want to do something and you're happy with that decision, by all means, go ahead and do it. You're just outgrowing what no longer serves you. Drop a comment below if you have any questions and I'll be sure to get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss any videos from me. Don't forget to like and share this video if you have someone in a weird friendship and you feel like they should silently quit. So excited to build this little community with you guys and give you guys a safe space. Again, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.